the female CEO accidentally discovered a USB drive in the trash can. Out of curiosity, she picked it up to see what was on it. After seeing that it was an AI design program 10 years ahead of the United States, she was immediately overjoyed. If she could apply this design to her company could become the world's #1 within a year. After looking into it, the female CEO went to the home of the man who had created the AI project. To recruit him to her company, she stormed into his house carrying 2 dishes. Through their conversation, she learned that the man's life had been full of setbacks. He had once been a brilliant engineer with a bright future, but after his wife became pregnant before marriage, he chose to stay with her. To support his family, he delivered takeout from morning until night every day. Even so, what he earned was never enough to cover the household expenses. Whenever he finished delivering food, he would change into a suit and apply to large companies, but his luck was terribly bad. One day, he found a company with a strong local reputation, but the hiring manager rejected him for being too old, and threw the design plans he had spent months on into the trash. Disheartened, he could only keep delivering takeout. By chance, he brushed past the female CEO in the hallway. The CEO's hobby was recruiting talented people from all over the world, but she had never been able to hire any outstanding employees. That day, she accidentally found the USB drive that had fallen into the trash can. Seeing that the design project was 10 years ahead of anything in the US, she immediately told her assistant to investigate the designer's background. She eventually learned that the man had an excellent reputation and outstanding achievements in the industry, but because of his age, his former company not only stole his work but also fired him. After losing his job, the man sank into a deep low point. Even worse, he kept receiving loan reminders from the bank that he could not pay. His wife and son kept demanding money from him to buy gold bracelets and the latest smartphones. The crushing pressure of life left him struggling to breathe. Life was miserable, but he still had to keep going. As always, he cooked a large meal and waited for his wife and son. As soon as they came in, they looked at him with ugly expressions. It was all because he had not given them money on time. When he saw his son flip the table, the man wanted to unleash his frustration. In the end, reason overcame impulse. No matter how hurtful their words were, the man silently endured them. After they finished venting their emotions, the man explained that he had recently been delivering takeout. He was looking for work while delivering meals. After 2 months, the money he made could barely support the family, but after applying to several companies, he was rejected for being too old. Before he could finish, his wife demanded a divorce. At that moment, the man realized that whenever he could make money, he had been treated like a cash machine. Now that he could no longer meet their demands, he was being kicked out. In the end, the man agreed to the divorce and left with nothing. At 3 a.m., he sat alone eating street food. Thinking back on the years that had passed, he felt deeply conflicted. Suddenly, the female CEO found him there. She reached out her hand to introduce herself to him. The man had no interest, turned around, and walked away. The female CEO understood that this was the arrogance of a talented person. That special charm deeply attracted her. The man, drunk, returned to his old house, still calling for his mother to bring him a glass of water. After 5 minutes with no response, he looked up at the memorial portrait on the wall and suddenly realized his parents had passed away years ago. At that moment, he could no longer hold back his emotions. He cried out in front of his parents' portrait. The female CEO quickly found his home. At the man's most desperate and helpless moment, a woman who understood and appreciated him appeared at his side. The two of them spent the whole night talking about their lives. There was no business or scheming between them, only honest hearts. So, they spent the night together. Early the next morning, the female CEO personally cooked a bowl of porridge. For the first time in 30 years, the man felt the joy of being cared for by a woman. The man agreed to join the female CEO's company and promised to help her become #1 in the world within a year. Suddenly, the female CEO received a call from her mother urging her to get married, but she did not want to marry someone she did not love, so she lied and said she was already married. Then she asked the man whether he would marry her. The man was very surprised, but they had already been intimate. Out of responsibility, the man agreed to register their marriage. He had thought the woman was just an ordinary company employee, but when he saw the spacious office, the man realized that his sudden bride was actually the company's boss.